Testing. Hi, guys. How are you? Gary, Kataya, Walter, Money. Hi, guys. This is a Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers and the stepmoms and the aunties. Yes, and the godmothers. Everyone who is a woman and taking care of a dependent. Happy Mother's Day. Um, Thank you. Could tell you hear me. All right. So I started doing panels on Friday. This would be the second panel, second or third one, but I would say second consistent. No, this is actually the third panel. And I'm gonna keep panels on Fridays, right? I think it's fun. I may not always be in portrait because y'all usually see me in landscape, but I want to try something different. I want to try the portrait style, right? So what are we talking about today? We talking about the big black woman statue, bronze statue in Times Square. I don't like it. But I have some guests. Yes, I do. I have Nora Miz. I invited him. He said he's coming, but he's going to be late. He on that CPT time. And we have a new guest. So hopefully he comes on as well. I'm trying to get his name so I can get his name correct. Um, was it 85? Yeah, I guess his name is 85, but I'm about to bring up Nora. Hey Nora. I can't hear you. Girl, what's going on with your mic? You gotta maybe you don't got the do you have the microphone hooked up? Thank you, Dark Clint. Thank you, Gary. I can't hear you, Nora. Oh, I heard something. You touched something and I heard a fuzz. We gonna have to start doing mic checks, honey, before I go live. See, Nora trying to be fancy today. You look pretty. Happy Mother's Day, Nora. I still can't hear you. You want to go out and come back in? Go out and come back in. Okay. Okay, I see somebody else. Hi. Oh, 85 Slim. That's your name. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Always. How you doing?
I wanted to cause so Nora invited you. I said, Nora, do you know anybody? She was like, I got the perfect guest. So I'm Tina. Can you introduce yourself to my audience?
I am 85 Slim, part of the new party, also part of the Man Cave, each and every Monday and Wednesday.
And I need to be better because I'm on some ghetto customer service. I'm gonna have Nora email me all of your social media handles so I could put in a description. I should have
Okay.
did this before I started the show, but my mind just been all over the place. Thank you, Sam, for the happy Mother's Day. So Nora's been here. She got to fix her audio and she's coming back. I have another person coming on. His name is Menz. He said he's going to be a few minutes late. And so today we're going to be talking about the bronze statue in Times Square, the black woman.
Okay.
You've seen that? You've seen that
I
story?
haven't seen it yet. No.
You
I'm
haven't
from, I'm
heard
from
about the
New
story?
York, and I didn't. I
Wait,
probably
but have you heard about the story?
No. That's why this is going to be interesting.
You live in New York.
No, I'm from New York. I live in
Oh,
Florida, but I'm from New
okay.
York.
But everybody's been talking about this all on social media, the news.
I've been out the country. I'm totally lost.
Okay.
So you guys are going to be informing me at the same time.
Okay, good. So we get a fresh reaction from
Yes,
you. So
absolutely.
that's going to be the first discussion we have, and then we're going to go into the Joe Button clip with a guy. Is his name Ish? But the light skinned one, he was saying no, black people don't need the reparations. Um, is this Nora? Nora, honey, we can't see you now. Now we can't see. Oh, I see you now. Let me see. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what the heck was going on. That was a lot.
Honey, she got the makeup on. She
Yeah,
fancy
the
today.
background's fire. She ready.
So let's put our guest, our guest, his first time here. I'm gonna put him at the top. Nora, I'll put you in the middle, honey. So, all right, so let's get into it. Men's gonna be late, honey, but
Oh no.
so 85 has not seen or heard about the statue.
What?
No.
85, y'all ain't talk about it on the man show. Y'all talk about everything else with
Nah,
black
not
women, honey.
shoot, not yesterday.
Oh
The day
man.
before, sorry. Day before.
Okay, so I think maybe I should play this clip because
Yeah, I'm really interested to know
I
what's
do
up.
have some clips, and then we'll talk about it. All right, let me share this. Let's see here. Okay, this. No, I don't want it to look like that. I guess this is good like this. I should no. 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 Yeah. I'm
Fair.
yeah. I think this is better, right?
This statue is in Times Square.
Yes. And they're oh, I'll let Dana tell.
Oh,
Oh, it's already funny.
why is it funny to you?
I just want I want to hear the story behind it. I'm just laughing. I can
Okay, wait,
imagine.
let me see something. Oh damn, I was trying to see if I could remove the name. All right. So let me play this. All right.
And communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another, to try and create an understanding and basically encourage empathy.
I have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lead.
And communicate.
All right, so that's what the statue looked like, and I have another clip. So apparently this is all around the world, but I have another clip of him talking about it.
A plus size woman, I'm a plus size man, I'm African American, it's the African American woman statue. So just seeing another piece for me to stop and just have a moment with was very powerful.
Me being a plus size black woman, I kind of looking at it was just like, oh, I wonder what me as a small child would have thought looking at something like that. Representation.
The piece is part of a series called Grounded in the Stars, which Gene Cooney, director of Times Square Art, says confronts preconceived notions of identity and representation.
A plus size woman, I'm a plus size man, I'm African American, it's the African American woman statue. So just seeing another piece for me to stop and just have a moment with was very powerful.
Me being a plus size black woman, I kind of looking at it was just like, oh, I wonder what.
Okay, that was the end of that. So yeah, and this is a video of a statue. It says 13-foot bronze statue of a black woman on her phone, built from Piazza della Signoria, Italy. So this is in Italy. So apparently they have these statues of black women in different parts of the world. I don't like this one either because it looked like some young Gen Z on her cell phone, right? Like out here, oh, let me see how many likes I got type of thing, what young people do. So but even a one in Times Square, let's go back to that one. I don't like this one either. So I want to get 85 Slim. This is your first time seeing it. So tell us, what do you think?
I think it's the dumbest thing going on. First of all, who is the lady? I understand what they're trying to do, but this is all, again, with that mindset of enslavement. It's all continuing the circle, things like this. I mean, what is a statue going to do? Is that part of reparation? I mean, do we get like 5 cents a month because the statue is there? I don't know what's going on. So what's the statue about? I mean, why does it benefit? I mean, a few years ago, they were tearing down statues that meant something to the country. So here we are today on statues that mean what? I don't know. What are we talking about? This auntie? I mean, what's cracking? I don't know what it is. I want to know who it is. Aunt and mama, anybody. Even if it was aunt and mama, I would have been good. But if we wanted a statue, I could have went to Chicago. I could have seen Michael Jordan statue. It's fire. Love that statue. Black man, strong. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
This right here, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Right. Okay. So, and on my thumbnail, I'll put the Black Mammy, right? So this is a 12-foot bronze statue in Times Square titled Grounded in the Stars, was created by British artist Thomas J. Price. Price is a London-based figurative artist whose work often explores themes of identity, representation, and human conditions. So more about Thomas J. Price. Price's work is known for challenging conventional ideas about who and what should be represented in public spaces, particularly monumental forms. Grounded in the Stars series, Times Square's statue is part of a larger series by Price that aims to deconstruct assumptions about identity and representation. Global impersonation. The sculpture is inspired by observations and imagery from New York, Los Angeles, and London, reflecting the diverse identities and experiences of those cities. The statue is on display in Times Square through June 17th, 2025, right? So this is a Black man, Thomas J. Price, and he's basically calling himself, I guess, African American. But I don't like it. First of all, I'm tired of statues. The George Floyd, that was hideous.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much symbolism, right? And no tangibles. I want public policies. I don't want statues. Nora, what are your thoughts?
Well, you guys both touched on what I think it represents. 85 said it first. Like, is this supposed to replace reparations? I think it's a way to distract the goal that most foundationally Black Americans and Africans around the world, because reparations are owed to people in the Caribbean as well. To say, here you go, here's a statue. This should placate it. Stop trying to leave the UK, because a lot of Caribbean countries are trying to leave the UK now, and this should be enough. But it's not enough, and it's not a good representation of a healthy Black woman. Like, most Black women, they say, that's like the stereotype, and it's just pushing the stereotype too, that a lot of ignorant whites think that Black women are overweight, and that's not necessarily true. I think it should have been someone healthy. I think they could have dressed her better. I think the statue can have meaning, but it's disrespectful, I think, in my opinion. And mhm.
I don't so much think she's overweight. Because listen, there are a lot of Black women who are curvy. There are a lot of women
Yeah,
of all backgrounds who are curvy. I think
true.
curvy, a little plump, and there's nothing wrong with that. Men like thighs and ass, especially Black men. But I don't think she has a bra on. The outfit could have been better because Black women, especially, they going to play. They want to be fly, and this is not fly. This is not an American freedman, American Black woman. I'm sorry. It's not. And he created a Black woman in his image of being British, which, i.e., probably from either Nigeria or whatever country in Africa or the Caribbean. That's not us. We don't dress like that. Not even, I don't know, not even pose like that. If you're going to make a statue of us, honey, we're going to be like Beyonce.
Yeah.
True.
And then even the hair, it's like some braids. It's everything is no. You could at least give her some, the hobo knotless braids, something like. It's just it don't have no flavor.
A statue of Harriet Tubman would have been fire.
I agree.
How about no statue?
I mean, yeah, that too. But I mean, if you're gonna do one, make it count. You know what I mean?
Now, do you guys remember the statue that came out a couple years ago in Boston, and it's supposed to be the arm of Martin Luther King wrapped around his wife, Coretta Scott King? You don't remember that? Let me see if I could pull that up. That was atrocious. Like, okay, let's see. MLK sculpture in Boston. I was offended with that because that was ugly. Where is it? Okay, let me go to images. All right. Remember that? Y'all don't remember this?
Nah, that's what it represents, King and the Coretta.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one.
Oh my yes. Oh my God. Like, okay, let me see if I could pull this
And
up.
this is in Boston?
In Boston.
Joins me live now. Hank, thank you for being here. I know it took you 5 years to create this monument. How do you even go about making something like this?
Well, this was an amazing process. There were over 125 applications and proposals for this monument to honor Dr. King, and my proposal, along with Mass Design Group, which honored both Dr. King and Mrs. King, was selected by the public. And then went through city approvals, the landmarks, and all of these different processes. Then working with engineers, an amazing foundry called Walla Walla Foundry in Washington State. Literally thousands of people have worked on this. And so I'm just so honored to be part of this incredible effort to bring this work to be.
Hank, this is now the largest sculpture in the U.S. dedicated to racial equality. How does that make you feel? And was that your goal at the outset?
No one ever wakes up thinking that they could contribute meaningfully to the legacy of Dr. King and Mrs. King. That never even crossed my mind. It was a Hail Mary, a hope and a prayer. It also might be the largest, actually, bronze sculpture in the country. And I am super humbled by that. And I'm just letting it all soak in.
Hank, I have to ask you about the backlash, too. I know you say you were inspired by the embrace between Dr. King and Coretta Scott King after he won the Nobel Peace Prize. But some critics are saying that that's hard to see from the statue itself. Some even say that it looks obscene from certain angles. What's your response to that?
If someone sees a picture online, they can see whatever they want to see. It's really amazing. I feel like it's a Rorschach test. You know, people see things that thousands of us who worked on this for years didn't see. And I'm sure you don't see now. So I really feel like it's an attempt to take away from the incredible, awesome story of the Kings and the power of their embrace and the message behind this. And it's like, you know, I'm a photographer, so I'm very comfortable with different perspectives on a work of art.
And what made you decide not to include their heads in the sculpture to kind of make it more clear what it represents?
There are so many monuments to the Kings that we don't see them as real people. We don't actually relate to them. And I feel like I wanted to make a monument that gave us an opportunity to both connect to them, because not everyone has the ability to embrace with their arms, but all of us have been embraced. And I wanted to symbolize the power of that love. And everyone who goes inside and looks up and feels that power, I hope you get to do it, is like touched in the way that I was really praying for when we made this.
So, Hank, what else do you hope people take away after?
That's enough. So now you see the statue and how ugly it is. So again, you know, going back to this one here, you know what? I don't. And then another thing, because Times Square is a lot of tourism. People take pictures, and there were people taking pictures in front of this. But I know there are going to be people making fun of her, like a joke, even if they're taking a picture. And that's not cool because of the way she looks, right? So even if you want to make a curvy Black woman, make her look good and sexy.
I agree. Not swollen.
or okay, this is a casual day when I'm going out running errands and I'm just throwing on a t-shirt and some stretch pants and walking out the door. Like, pull her together. Like, Black people are fly, you know, so at least present us that way, since you want to keep giving us damn sculptures. All right, so that's that. So 85, you were asked to come on because I wanted to talk about reparations, right? So just what is your thoughts on reparations?
I don't believe in them. I don't see how it benefits us. This country is pretty much built on anything that you can accomplish, you know, if you put your mind to it. So reparations to me is just another handout, another reason to be lazy, which we've been called through the years. So no, it's just another welfare source, if you basically ask me.
And you are foundational Black American?
I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York.
Are your parents foundational Black American?
Yeah, Florida.
And their parents?
We're going back. I hope so. But my last name is Bonaparte, so I might have some French in there somewhere. You know what I mean? So I never did the whole ancestor.com thing.
Well, do any of your family, whether it's your mom or your father's side, come from a slave plantation?
Not that I know of, to be honest with you, because
They were probably free Black people.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. What about natives? Do you have any of that in your?
I have no idea. I just know the indoctrination must have missed us because, you know, there's things that I don't believe in when it comes to that stuff. You know, even, you know, growing up in the projects, you know, I never let that, you know, keep my mindset from that that stereotype. Or if you're from here, this is how you're going to grow up. Or if you're from this circumstance, there's no opportunities for you, or whatever that nonsense is that they put in these people's brains. It must have missed me because
what part of Florida did you grow up in?
I grew up in New York, but I came down in Florida when I was in 17 years old.
Wait, but your family's from Florida. What part of Florida?
Man, I want to say.
You don't know?
I want to say Jasper. It's a small town. It's a small town.
Did you visit there?
Crescent City. That's what it was.
Okay, so that's like north, like
yeah,
that's like north central Florida. Central.
I remember that's
yeah,
where my
north.
mom was born. Rest her soul, but that's where she was born. So Crescent City is what I would say.
All right, so listen, there are people in the chat that already disagree with you.
Oh, I get it all the time.
Yeah, you should, and you should. But I want to play this clip, right? So this is Joe Budden podcast, and they added Mark Lamont Hill to their podcast lineup, and so they're talking about reparations. Now this is 11 minutes, so let's just say the first 4 minutes, which is I do want to play the first 4 minutes because it's interesting what they're talking about. So it still has to do with inequality. So I'm gonna play this clip.
I think it was highly overrated.
You said what?
Highly overrated. I think artistically it was dope. But I think it was highly overrated.
Why? Like, what had it overrated for?
I think that what happened with the movie was the marketing was great, and I think that the people did a great job marketing the movie. Like, when I sit and talk to people about the movie before I saw it, it sounds like they regurgitating something that they read.
Okay.
Like, some of these motherfuckers couldn't use some of those words if you paid them, like, and it just sounded like somebody read some shit and then they just
people were offering like dissertations on Twitter about it.
And I think people read that and it influenced their real assessment of the movie.
So what did you think was like overrated? What were you expecting versus what you got?
Good question. I think the plot was blah. I think some of the symbolism that people talk about, again, I think they read that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people came up with that on their own. And then I've heard two like totally contrasting points of view. So I think that if you read one and you're like, oh, okay, that's what that meant. And then somebody else could have gotten something totally different. I think it was a great piece of art. But again, art is subjective. I could look at a painting and you could get something from it that I don't get from it. I could get something totally different. That's what I think it was. But as far as...
But you just said it was a great piece of art.
Yeah, the way it was shot. I think the cinematography, all that was dope. I think the plot was...
The storyline. You don't like. What do you think about the acting?
But what if somebody... The acting was okay. It was okay. I think I like Michael B. Jordan. I think that I don't think he get in character well sometimes. Like, I think when you start doing a movie from the 1930s, we still speak too properly. I think when you are actor, you get into that. You change your grammar. You do all of that shit. Nobody's using apostrophe S's in 1930s when you was a sharecropper. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of that shit don't be believable for me.
Yeah, but he was a little different because they moved up to Chicago, hit the big city, and was working up there doing what they did. So he got a different experience than you say.
He was Al Capone niggas.
Yeah, he was up that way. So now he brought that back. So yeah, he's going to talk a little different with that little city
people
swag.
Have not been using apostrophe S's in the 1930s. Like, why is that so far-fetched? I don't know.
I think yes, they did, but yeah.
I think someone else up here even said that they didn't necessarily like the.
I didn't like some of the language did seem anachronistic.
So
that wasn't my particular one.
That's the craziest thing.
Some of the slang I didn't like.
Giving an example, bro. Like when you watch a slavery movie, right? Or I watch Harriet Tubman slavery movie. Slaves didn't speak like that. so it kind of comes off as like inauthentic.
I had issues with some of the language too.
Yeah, like
so we want the slaves to be portrayed the right way.
What letter grade would y'all give? I would give the film. I was telling my homie on the way like a B plus A minus. I'll say A minus is probably where I would land. Okay, you know what I mean? Because I reserve A for like Godfather level shit. But like, or if I were giving a letter grade, I probably.
So I want to pause it. Did you see 85 and Nora? Did y'all see the movie Sinners?
Yes,
I did.
Okay, I did. You didn't. It's a good movie. Do you agree with what they're saying, 85, about the movie?
Yes and no. The movie was good. But again, I just think, Michael B. Jordan, to be honest with you, I've seen a whole nother talent in the young man. So I don't know basically what they're looking at on the negative side when it comes to that. But he did a great job playing two roles to me. The only thing I did not like is that, again, it stays on the black and white issue. That's why I can't mess with reparations, because there's always millionaires talking about reparations. That's the thing that gets to me, is it's always guys that's well off talking about what we need as people, instead of those same guys that's well off coming together, doing what they got to do for the community. It's always those guys with private jets that's like, we need reparations. This throws me off.
So I'm gonna fast forward to the reparations part. Let's see. All right, why is not playing? Let's see. We can go out. Let me go all the way out.
What's that media guy name? That black dude. What was his name? The last one that was just talking. He's a media.
Joe Budden?
No, not Joe. I know Joe. The other guy that was talking.
Mark Lamont Hill?
Yeah, that dude. Oh my goodness. We. God rest.
We don't fare any better. Me personally, I don't think that. I think reparations would.
Okay, here we go.
No, I think.
All right, let me go back a little bit.
Financial literacy. What did you say?
I'm waiting for you to finish.
That's exactly what will happen.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish your question. Like,
I think that's what he asked.
End of your question. What about it?
Do you believe black people should get reparations?
No, I think black people should get equity, and I think the two are different. I think that I'm not really a fan of handouts. Like, I don't want your money. I just want me to be able to make my money and you not be on my dick about making it. I don't think that if we get reparations, we gonna fare any better. Me personally, I don't think that. So I think reparations would be a waste for most. Some would definitely take the money and do some positive things with it, but I don't think it'll get us no better if we not changing how we being treated in America. I don't think reparations gonna change nothing.
It's early in the show. Oh, good. Go ahead.
No, like, I don't want equality. I want equity. So if you got a 500-year head start, and now me and Parks are able to both make $100 a day, Parks gonna keep his 500-year head start. It's not.
But if you got twice that much money,
and then I got twice that much money, and they still don't change the way that we are being treated, it's gonna be futile and useless.
But the way.
Oh, go ahead.
Because you said before that it's about rich and poor. So the way we being treated is because we're poor.
No, I think that yes and no. I think
let me just finish. So if we did get the money, would it change how we're treated because they're not necessarily poor anymore?
No, because they're not gonna give you enough money for you to be rich. Reparations, they're gonna have to give 13% of the population reparations, and then they're gonna decide if you got black blood, if you don't. Like, when we get the reparations, one, the reparations don't come with a financial literacy package to show you how to use the money to your best advantage.
That I agree with.
That's number one. Number two, it's black people that make a shit ton of money today that still don't do nothing with the money and don't gain nothing in society just because they have money. So I don't think the reparations is the end all be all. I think that's a cop out for me. It's my opinion.
I would just say, one, and I get the idea of not taking handouts, but the whole argument of reparations that it's not a handout, that it's owed, right? That it's reparations literally means repair, repair the damage done. So the idea is, if you took, like you said, if you got a 100-year head start and you took my money for 100 years, you exploited my labor, and all this stuff was built around our labor, universities, companies, insurance, all
the country.
Yeah, the whole country, right? Every institution. Then giving us reparations isn't a handout. It's actually what we owe, what we're owed. And then the second part of that, I think, is I've never heard people say reparations is either or. You know, I've been part of the reparations movement for a long time, not like a leader of it, but just advocating for it. And every reparations person I know is also asking for voting rights, housing protections, other things. And then the last part of it is, I think reparations should be a check. I think every descendant of slavery, to be clear, so I don't get hit on the internet, every descendant of American slavery here in the United States deserves reparations.
Gotcha.
But I also think, in addition to the check, we should also have access to free public education, like university education. We should also like, there's other things you can do systemically to close that gap in addition to the money. So I think we could.
But when we talk about reparations overall, we're talking about a check.
It's two different thoughts.
You taking it, when most people, in a general sense, talk about reparations, they talk about a check.
Yeah, I think that's right.
You get what I'm saying?
So I want to pause it right there, and it's about 2 more minutes left, but I want us to have a little bit of discussion on it. So, Nora, I want to go to you. What are your thoughts on the reparations and what they're saying?
Well, my thought is it's very clear it's a debt owed. Indians got their check when it was owed to them. Japanese Americans got it. Jewish people got it. So why can foundationally Black Americans not get it? And my answer to immigrants that are anti-reparations from like because I'm half Jamaican, for those of you that may not know, is when Black Americans get stuff, the rest of the world usually gets stuff. When civil rights happen, it benefits all minorities. So for that, we should be allies and supporting for it, because then that's going to then hold the other countries accountable. Now, my issue with reparations, I'm going to tell you my concerns and the concerns most people have. I don't think it should just be America paying it. I think it should be France. I think it should be Spain. And I think it should be the UK, because they brought slaves here too, and they benefited off of it. It's not just the United States of America. So that's the biggest issue. Who's going to pay? And that's usually the problems that they have. Also, how do you delineate who's what? How do you trace it? But my answer to that is, they claim that they have the African American Museum and there's a way to trace your ancestry. So it can be done. They have the information. So that would be my counters to those things. That would be my counter argument. I agree. It shouldn't just be the United States. I think it should be the other countries as well. But it's a debt owed. It's that simple. I mean, I don't know how it needs to be done, but it needs to be paid.
Slim.
You know me, I'm always gonna be the culprit here. Again, the reparations thing, man. I this is where my compassion will lie. Okay, if you're just incompetent, if you can't make over 15 to 20 grand a year for some circumstantial reason that the slavery has kept you there, whatever slavery, because I've never experienced slavery, so whatever slavery kept you in that situation and you can't get over the hump, you might deserve reparations. But what's going to happen is rich guys like this, they don't deserve it, right? Let's just say they don't get it. They're going to be mad that they're not getting it. They're going to figure out a way to be upset, because here's the thing again. It's always these guys pushing this agenda. I don't know if they get paid for it. I don't know if that's just how they think. But this guy, Lamar Hill, he needs help big time. He's mentally all messed up. But at the end of the day, the reparation thing has no burden on what we can accomplish right here in the United States of America. The reason I say that, I just went out the country for the first time in my life, and it was literally a culture shock. And I want to say that, like in Cuba, the citizens have no, like they have to eat chicken on Thursday, and if they want to have steak, it's got to be on a Saturday. Like the government is actually telling them when they can have certain food if you're a citizen of that country. And when I look at things like that, and I come back home, I'm like, something as small as that I don't even realize really doesn't, it lets me know how free we are in this country. You know what I mean? Like something like that is real small. Went to Colombia, culture shock too. It's crazy out there. But this country is so diverse, number one. And I believe that anybody, like YouTube, for instance, YouTube is making millionaires every single month. Whether you're Black, white, it doesn't matter. So what's the problem? I mean, a lot of people is getting paid to talk, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So I just don't get it. What's the handout about?
Well, it's not a handout, because well, would you consider when Jewish people, they got reparations from the United States, and we didn't have nothing
Yes.
to do with
Mhm.
the Holocaust. The Japanese, they got restitution. So there are other groups who receive what you would like to call a handout. Do you push back against that?
Not at all. I mean, if here's the thing, like I have a few Jewish friends. Well, two of my friends are Jewish, but they never went through the Holocaust. Even when they were growing up, I don't think they ever had it like that with the silver spoon. This is just something that, it might have went to certain families. It didn't go to all of the Jewish families.
Well, specifically, there were families who got a specific check. However, Jewish people as a collective, they get funding from state and federal, right? So you could go, let's just say, for example, if they go to a temple because they may need some extra dollars or some food or whatever, like they get resources that helps the group, the whole community. They do organize, they live amongst each other, they have businesses where they live at. So they
There
do
you go.
have a very strong operating community. However, they also got reparations from France, from Germany, and the United States, right? So again, yes, they operate as a very strong unit,
Bingo.
but they've still received a whole lot of handouts, and they're proud of that. But and it's nothing wrong with what you like to call handouts, because it helps you build up your community economically. And that is what Black people need, especially in the Black community. We need those quote unquote handouts. We need those resources to economically build up our community.
I agree with you, but can I say something to that nature? To that statement. You made a point. You said the organization, and they basically created something, and all I can see with that is that as a community, they stuck together. With our people, your friend could start a business down the street. Your own people won't support them. I've seen that happen millions of times. We hate on a person that's doing better than us. We want to go get them. We don't even like people to wear the same outfit if we at the same party. Like, we go at each other about anything. The unity is the key. I'm cool with reparations, but how we go and unify it to make it grow, to elevate it, to continue to grow in that community. That's something I believe Black people don't have. As a community, we don't have unity. We hate on each other each and every day and chance we get.
I mean, I agree with you on that instance, because I do talk about that a lot when I'm on X, as far as we need to organize together more, and that's not happening. I want to play the rest of this clip. It's about 2 more minutes, and then we can have like the full-fledged discussion.
That's fair. If you said, "Yo, do you think every descendant of slavery should get free education?" Yeah. And again, it just depends on.
Would you, if you got all the other stuff, would you be okay with the check too?
I wouldn't be turned down the check now.
No, I mean as an idea. I don't mean would you turn it down? I mean, would you?
I just think that I don't think it's going to do what people think it's going to do. I think that a lot of times people just be like, "Yo, if my mother worked at such and such, I would be doing better." Or if all of that shit, to me, it's the same ideology, in my opinion. And it's funny that out of that Mandy interview, the shit that we highlight is the one thing that we ain't highlight nothing else.
Oh, I didn't see the Mandy.
We ain't highlight nothing else. All the other positive shit, we definitely gonna go to the negative shit, which I think is goofy, but it's cool. Again, I think
I don't. That was
I think the education is more important.
I disagree with that. I think that you should be able to expound on something that sounds wild in an excerpt. So I brought it up so you could do that.
No, I get it.
That was it.
I mean, we.
I didn't mean for the deep dive.
No, we. How I look at some of these issues again is definitely. I've been up here 4 years. How I look at some of these issues is definitely on the opposite side of many people.
But that's okay.
No, I know. I know. I'm saying I stand in that. I'm not against that. I stand in what I believe in. I think that Dave Chappelle had the thing about
reparations. He's like, yo,
Yeah.
the Cadillac dealership gonna be empty in 2 days. Shit like that. Like, I just think that they had a whole
But that's
bit
shit
on
white
it.
people say to justify not giving it.
Yeah, I'm about to say then. So we cop Cadillacs then.
No, it ain't even just to justify not giving it.
Them
We
white
just-
boys
look, we
got all
just
that
saw-
crypto money and bought every
Right.
Lambo in the spot.
But I'm just saying, we kind of
our
saw
money.
something similar, not similar, but we saw when people got access to a whole bunch of extra money they didn't expect during
PPP
COVID.
and all that shit. Yeah.
And look what happened.
I'm of the belief that that's not my business.
True.
I'm not
When
saying
somebody-
that y'all are right or that y'all are wrong.
Yo.
That ain't my business. Somebody go get their check and blow it.
Of course.
It's funny.
Mine
This
in
is
the
complete-
shoebox still.
This is a side, but it's kind of related. When I was in Nashville this weekend, we went to the Country Music History Museum or whatever, and they had some cars. They had Elvis's car. It was diamond paint, gold-plated trim, TV in the back. Another dude's car had guns for the door handles and a gun on the front. I was like, this is all the shit that they yell at rappers
Yeah,
about,
Elvis was a
like
whole
violence and extremism, and country stars were doing the exact same shit in 1950 or whatever. Anyway, sorry. Aside.
They need to do like a deep dive on Elvis's real life and who he was. I'm gonna sort
Okay, that was the end of that. So that is true though about Elvis, because I went to the Elvis Presley to his home, and then they have the plane, and then they have just the museum where all of his cars. He had just about every type of car. Like, yeah,
Wow.
he was balling out, and the house was laid out. But yeah, listen, everyone is concerned about, well, how are you going to spend your check? What are you going to do with your check, right? And it's none of your business. If your family, especially your specific family, is owed restitution or reparations, don't worry about what somebody's going to do with it, because this, to me, is two layers to reparations. Checks that need to go to specific families, and the overall restitution public policies for economic mobility that Black Americans need in their community. So what's the problem? Because you keep it. So I agree with you, Slim, when you was like, there is something to where we don't really work together like we used to. It is a disconnect. And just about all of Americans, I would say we are walking around with this I mentality.
Mm-hmm.
However, that still doesn't negate the fact that it's still a debt that is old. And we, listen, America is not going to just say, okay, yes, we did this and we owe it, we're going to give it to you. No, you really have to take it by way of legal means or what have you. But it's still old, and other people got it, and we are owed it. So, do you want to comment on it?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? And this conversation is so crazy, very sensitive conversation. The problem is that, even in the chat, right? Let's say they get reparations. Let's say everything goes through. Okay, everything goes through. We get reparations. It's gonna be a crazy war because people who really thought they was Black or Black from somewhere or didn't have a slave descendant family, and they don't get it, they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be mad at the person that got the big house. They're gonna be mad at the person that's getting money every month. And we're gonna have a big confused scenario here. The people gonna be like, "Oh, you're not Black. That's why you didn't get reparations." It's gonna be always something to that extent. So I just don't see how that is going to cure anything that we're dealing with in this country. I don't see how financial reparations, I don't want to call it handouts because it seems like a trigger, but I don't see how anything given to someone is going to be basically appreciated. Like it won't be appreciated. You see what I'm saying? Like, because again, where we are as a people, we don't even appreciate what we have currently.
Well, what do we have currently?
I mean, we have the freedom. Like at the end of the day, look,
but
nobody said nothing about that podcast. You got Joe Buttons, all those Black people talk about reparation. That one guy said something. Please, if you go in the comments, see if anybody talk about that white guy basically talking about reparations.
Yeah, I got a question. Is that guy Black?
White people,
that light-skinned guy that was talking, is he Black?
I
That's
don't
what I'm saying.
The one dude. Is he Spanish or Black? Him.
I don't Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
They
sure.
gonna ream him too. That's what I'm saying. They gonna that's
And
just what our people
another
do.
thing, Melissa Ford is not FBA either. Her father is African, so she wouldn't get it either. I don't know about Joe Biden's history, but I know Melissa Ford's not.
I know her mother is white, but her father's African.
I want to say she's not FBA. I want to say she's not. I could be wrong. I'm not. I gotta look her up. I'm pretty sure she's not. Let me look her up
So
while
this
we
particular
talk.
clip where I got the person who posted this clip, this soul food. So here go the comments. Ish has a white girlfriend, more like full of Ish.
Yep, she's not. Her daddy's Barbados. I knew it. I knew she wasn't
She
FBA.
would get the reparations via CARICOM, just like you, Nora. You would get reparations via CARICOM. So I have a question for Slim. Do you propose reparations for all Black people throughout the diaspora?
I mean, if it's deserving, so be it. I mean, it doesn't affect anything. You see what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, if someone is in a situation where that's what they feel they deserve, by all means, you deserve it. But at the end of the day, if you haven't been in that predicament and you're sitting on podcasts and you playing basketball, my nephew making $5 million a year, Black, light skin, but he ain't complaining about reparations. He worked hard to
But
get.
why does he make it? Because what does he do? Add that part.
I mean, he plays football, but at the same time, I mean, I know other brothers that's making millions of dollars in different industries too. I mean, even the people that we're speaking about, Joe Buttons, look up his worth. He's paid. What has he done for the community? These are the things that we need to start asking. What are these people doing for our own people? If they always talk about reparations, what is LeBron doing for our people? Like this is what I want to know. That I'll salute it when they step up. But don't be sitting there getting big checks talking about reparations and then you jump on the private jet. Don't do nothing for your people.
Men's, are you camming up?
Yeah, I'm going to cam up once I get situated.
All right. Well, I'm going to put you backstage and I'll bring you back in once I see that you are situated. Okay.
Absolutely.
But see, I think we should give reparations so we can stop this argument. I'm sick of everyone saying, what are people going to do? Like, are you finally going to be satisfied? Yeah, it's a debt owed. Give it. And if people still complain, we can't control that. But at that point, it's a debt owed. Like it's what's owed. And actually, it was, Dana, you probably know more than me, but wasn't it promised too? It was promised.
40 acres and a mule. And then it was rescinded. So, and then it was then you ushered in Jim Crow, and they have thousands of public policies. See, you have slavery, that is a debt owed, and then you also have Jim Crow, and that's restitution. So there are a lot of public policies throughout the centuries, not just decades, centuries, that prohibited Black Americans for achieving that American dream. You talk about mass incarceration, you talk about redlining. That is why when they look at the wealth gap, it is, compare Black Americans to white Americans. And we were here on this land, the same amount of time, but you have 500 times the wealth than an average Black American compared to an average white American. That is because public policies were implemented to stop and hinder and prohibit Black people from progressing. So you did so much harm, enslavement, which was wrong and morally, legally, what have you, even though it was legal at the time, but it was outlawed. You've given restitution and reparations to other groups. So what is the problem when it comes to Black America, and why is there so much pushback? People really get triggered when Black Americans start speaking up for themselves and demanding what is right.
Oh, is that directed to me?
Yes.
Oh,
for you to speak, but
no. I mean, I think it's
always. Let me ask you this: have you always felt this way? Because I'm a little bit sketchy, Slim, about your background. Because it seems like you don't know
anything.
It seems like you don't know much about your background, because you don't even know if your lineage on your mom or your father's side has any type of slave.
Nope, don't know.
Why not?
Because it if I focus on the past, I can't move forward.
It's not even about that. But in order
It
to
is.
move forward, you need to understand the past, not stay there, not focus on it, but you need to know it.
Well, here's the thing, right? If I need to know, like, what would it benefit me to know it? Give me one reason how it would benefit me today in 2025.
Okay, so as far as your lineage, you could have relatives, you could have land somewhere that's part of your family. So if you have land that was taken from you or that was never claimed and you don't know, that's an economic opportunity, for you to gain what do you call it? Not home ownership, but equity. I'm drawing a blank. But you could cultivate that land, whether you're building a house or whatever the case may be. So if you don't know your background, you technically you could be missing out on opportunities. And then that it also, for the simple fact of restitution, of reparations, there are a lot of people, let's just say particularly in the Southwest, like around Texas, the oil states, where a lot of people, a lot of Black Americans who own that land, who own their homes, were forced off, right? Because their land was sitting on oil. So again, so going back to you when you were saying that we don't work together, we don't organize, and I hear you with that, right? And I do agree with you to some stance with that. But I think that if we are on the same accord of, okay, yes, we need reparations, we need restitution, that is going to push us to come together, organize, and to fight for what is old. That's why it's important to know your background.
Okay, so with that being said, I'm glad you mentioned that, because with my last name, I used to get a lot of questions. Are you French? Things like that.
What is your last name again?
Bonaparte, like Napoleon.
Bonaparte?
Yeah.
Oh, Bonaparte.
Bonaparte.
Okay, yes.
So, when I used to do
Asian, honey.
Hey,
especially coming out of Florida.
Well, here's the thing, right? My family, growing up with my family, my Uncle Jasper was probably the richest person in my family. The reason I say that is because I lived in a city in New York, and all my cousins lived in New York. And when we did a family reunion, we would go down to Uncle Jasper's house. Fast forward 20, 30 years, my whole family mad at Uncle Jasper for some reason. I don't know what Uncle Jasper got. I don't know what paperwork he did to get land. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? What I do know is that my family has splitting up for some reason that I don't know about. And based on everything else, when I look at how Uncle Jasper was living as opposed to how we were living, I'm thinking Jasper might know a whole little bit more than what I know. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, it goes back to my own family basically turned their back on me. And this is going to answer your question based on the timeline of I used to be a liberal, used to be a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat all my life. Why? Because this is what I know. This is what my family used to be. This is how my family voted. When I started to wake up and started to see things, when I started my business, my family went against me because of the way I voted, because of my conservative thoughts. All of them. Every single family member I don't mess with, because I run a business and I support Republicans. My own family. Now, there's people that basically along my journey that I've met with conservative thought processes that I can basically be like, hey, how are we going to build this company? How are we going to do this? And their mindset is totally different. They're not enslaved. They're not looking for someone else to say, hey, we need money from here to do such a thing. At the end of the day, I started to notice what was enslaving me, what was keeping me there, welfare, things like that, all those policies. And it's a mental thing. It's all mental. If you come to this country, or if you're born in this country, and if you feel you can't accomplish what you need to accomplish in this country, it has nothing to do with the government. It has everything to do with you. And the reason I say that is because I am from the projects. That's the background that I know. The gunshots, the rats, the roaches, My mother's rent was $130 a month. She couldn't afford it. That's the background that I know. And I got myself out of that background with this, not with this. That's all I'm saying.
Men's, can you hear me? Men's?
Yeah, you just.
Oh, okay. You can hear me? Are you good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I just got in, you know. I mean,
You on that CPT time.
last trimester, you know, with the wife and everything, you know.
Oh, she's pregnant.
Yeah, she's due any day now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Okay. Oh, and it's Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day, Nora.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Happy
Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day to
Day,
you.
man. Most
Yeah.
important
Thank
holiday
you.
on the planet.
I'm happy that I was just listening for a while, man. Don't be trying to force people into their black and black, you know, us, man. If they don't know, it's likely a big, you know, they're not us, man. Most of the time, people don't know it's because they're not us. You know, we at the least we have grandparents, or you know, that told us like, oh yeah, you know, your grandfather's this and your grandmother, your great grand, you know, my mother was this, your great grandma is this, you know. You know, from the Carolinas, you know, they tell you and stuff, but you hit something on the head about the Florida thing. I mean, I'm not gonna say and tell this dude what he is, but he sounds like he Haitian. Sounds Haitian and everything. Everything lines up with the Haitian background, you know. Hey, it is what it is. But as far as the reparations conversation, it's not for everybody. And why is it that we should know who we are? For this exact reason, because Black Americans is the golden standard of what it is to be an American. There's nobody more patriotic, nobody that's done more, and that's why it's important that you know your history and your ancestry. Because if you know your lineage, then you know what you've done and what your ancestors committed to. You know your position. You know where you stand in this country. You know a white person can't tell you to go back to Africa, and a Caribbean person can't tell you don't have culture. Because if you know who you're from, you know your ancestry here, then you know that everything that the Caribbean is trying to be and a white person is working under is something that your family, your ancestors committed to and built, sacrificed and everything. And that's why it's important that you know who you are. Now, if you're from someplace else, I would say who gives a fuck myself either. Like, you know, but when you're a Black American, it's important to know that because we've done so much and there's a lot that we can answer for, and there's a lot that they have to answer to when you know who you are. As far as the reparations conversation, Joe Buttons is, you know, who is he? You know, Joe Buttons was trash. I'm from New York. I live in Georgia now. I don't know when Joe Buttons has gotten a platform to speak on our issues or speak even in music, because he's never had the throne in music. He's never been, he was an album like his mixtapes and.
Wait, hold on. I hear static. I hear static. Okay, I think that's static on your end, Men's. Is the wire?
There's static.
Wait, do me, everybody mute up. Except for you, Men's. Everybody else mute up. Okay, everybody unmute. I don't think it's Men's. Is it you, Nora? Wait, let me see something. Testing. No. Testing. 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 Oh, it's Men's. It's you, Men's.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's definitely you. Because I muted everyone, even myself, and I had you open. And yeah. Let me see something. Testing. All right. I don't hear it now. Okay, go ahead.
That's crazy.
I don't know. And maybe it was me. I don't know. But it's either me or you. But okay, but go ahead.
Okay. I just don't I don't know when Joe Buttons has gotten this leverage or to talk about anything. He's been garbage his entire career. His entire, like, there's nothing he's ever been good in. And even in his podcast and stuff, I think the only reason why people even pay him any mind is because he talks about, you know, pertinent issues regarding us and everything, and we're giving them that platform. We shouldn't, though. We shouldn't. You know, we shouldn't. These comments is crazy.
Like, stop looking at the comments because they're going to throw you off of what we're saying. So let me go back to
Yeah, make your screen big so then you can't see them when you're talking. That's what I do.
because it's going to distract you. So
Crazy
Slim in a hot seat because I'm trying to dig in Slim's background because Slim, I want to know where. Okay, so something's going on with Uncle Jasper. So maybe so and I've seen this a lot. You ever saw that documentary Silver Dollar Road? Because which is a great documentary. But what happened in a lot of families, especially families that have land and property in the South on primetime real estate areas, right? When somebody dies and they don't have a will, anyone in the family could claim that, right? If they go to the courts to get some letter or whatever. So did Uncle Jasper do something like that? Like claim the home or some land and without other people knowing? And is Uncle Jasper a tether? Because Jasper Bonaparte, that is Haitian. That could possibly be Haitian.
Nah, my family has no Haitian background whatsoever.
I mean, it's not wrong with Haitians. It's not.
Yeah, I know. I mean, last I heard, everybody was black, right? Puerto Ricans was black, but now it's a whole different vibe. But anyway, we won't go there. But there's no Haitian in my family at all. Like I said, that situation with my uncle, it's all speculation. But it's just weird how he was working at D'Agostino's. I don't know if you remember that. D'Agostino's was like a grocery store in New York. And he accomplished all of that working at D'Agostino's. Big house, you know what I mean? He had family reunions there. And when I was a kid, I just thought Jasper was rich. I just thought, oh man, my Uncle Jasper's rich because he has a beautiful house in Florida. Growing up in the projects, anything like that is really nice. Like, even when I came down here, having a garage meant something to me. Like a garage door opener is amazing to me.
So he came into some money, but he wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know how he got his money, but based on everything that I'm looking at now, maybe he did go to the government with the last name. Maybe he did go to, you know, whatever senator was in that area and say, hey, my family actually built this.
Or maybe he got it by illegal means.
Possibly. What I'm saying is he didn't pass it down to the family.
Okay.
That's my whole point. Like, when I talk about unity, that's what I mean by our people. We can't stick together. We so quick to shame a person for what we believe. And it might not even be facts. It's always what we think or what we feel or what we believe. It's never facts. So come to me with facts. I don't care about being calling names. That don't do nothing for me. I don't care about people telling me I'm a coon. That don't do nothing for me.
Right.
I embrace that because it makes me go harder. It makes me give more jobs, make me create more opportunities for other people. That's what I like doing.
Okay, so what if it comes out, right, that you are entitled to reparations because of your lineage, right? And you get a check for $200, $500,000 or $500, would you give it back?
Absolutely, I would donate it.
Donate it to who?
Any organization that need it.
Can you
whoever didn't receive it?
Just give me the check.
You guys show me what you're doing with it now. I ain't gonna just give it to everybody. It's got to be somebody who really needs it.
I'm invested.
Give it to the new party.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that could be talked about. If that happens, I'm telling y'all right online, I will donate each and every month of it.
You mean to tell me if you get reparations, your family, especially coming out of Florida, and you get reparations via state and federal, right? You a whole freeman. You mean to tell me if you are entitled to a check, you're going to give it back? What if it's land? You going to give that back too?
We'll build something on it for the children. We'll build something on it for the people. Like, I mean, it's not always about me. At the end of the day, you have to be able to give the receive. That's just the law. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, even if they give me something, what I do with it is really the outcome. I can go out and go to the club and go splurging, right? But I choose to do different things. Why? Because I didn't really need that money. I'm not asking for that money. Like, you're asking me if it was given to me. I'm not asking for it. I don't need it. There's someone else that needs it before me. That's the person I'm gonna look for.
I don't believe you.
I know. I know you don't. But that's just me. If you know me, the name of my company is Team Integrity Energy Group. It's a reason for that.
I don't believe if the government, state, federal, both, or one or the other, hands you a check of $200,000 because of restitution, reparations of your ancestors here, that you just going to donate the whole check. That would be crazy. And you talk about, okay, your uncle
It doesn't. Hold on. It doesn't necessarily be donate. It's the word is give back, right? So let's just utilize that.
Give back. You have children?
Yes, I have children, but I would put it into something that's going to generate something that's going to benefit them. That's not going to just benefit my children. It's going to benefit anyone else that's basically involved. That's my point. It's a unifying thing with me mental wise. Like, mentally, I know that there's no one that can do anything without another person. You can't even make a baby by yourself unless you go to the damn donor clinic and get some sperm. At the end of the day, you need people to do things. You need people to basically agree with you to do things. So at the end of the day, if that's the case, why should I be selfish over something that I don't need?
I need it. I don't care. I don't care if I have 5 million in the bank. I want the 200. I want the 200.
I got you 100%. I got you. You deserve it. If that's what you're advocating for, so be it. Congrats if you get it. But if it comes to me, that's what I'm doing with it.
All right. So men's, listen, you get to check. What you doing with it? Having more babies?
Damn right. Investing into a larger homestead or more property and having more children. You're damn right. 100%. Number one priority is preservation, and I will be having more children. Absolutely. No doubt about that. Sure, I'm being fruitful and multiplying.
Nora, you get a check from CARICOM. You get that check from CARICOM. What you gonna do when you get those British pounds?
I would put it in my daughter's college fund. She has big dreams. She wants to go to Harvard. Bless her soul. So probably that would be part of it. The other part would probably be investing in the stock market so I can flip the money. That's what I would personally do, because I'm not a business type of person. Probably in our business here for the media company we have, but yeah, I would flip it back in some way.
You're not donating it though.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. With my daughter's college fund, that's the donation.
Okay, but what if you get it after your daughter graduates college and then you get it? What would you do with it?
I would probably help my kids in some way.
Right. But this one here,
Hey.
I don't want it. If you give it to me, I'm gonna give it back or I'm gonna donate it because we don't need it.
Nah, I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, I do that right now. Like, if we do an extra deal that I wasn't expecting, what I'll do is I'll give it to the call center that basically is lacking in sales. So I'll throw out like a bonus at the end of the week, say, hey guys, there's $1,000 bonus, because I know that money came from an unexpected place. So at the end of the day, that's just how I think. It doesn't really have anything to do with reparations. It has everything to do with being moral. So I'm just that type of person. I'm the type of person that if someone is struggling, I'm going to give you the opportunity to get money before I give you money. That's just how I think. I just think that if you teach someone to fish, they're going to be good. Don't just give them the fish.
Absolutely. But you could teach as you give. So especially something especially if it's old. Especially so Ms. Okay, so you wasn't here for the first part when we talked about the bronze statue in Times Square. Have you seen it? It's the background here.
Ranting about it.
Huh?
I've been ranting about it for a while now. For a few days now. I don't like the artist. I don't like his artwork. Most of his artwork, and I damn sure don't like the statue in New York. I don't like anything about it. What's wrong? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. Go
I
ahead.
thought somebody was talking about my mic. Look, I wanted to have to say though about that last conversation. This whole thing about giving them. Do y'all listen to the question? The woman said, if you qualify for reparations, if reparations is given, right, and you qualify for it, that means that all your people is getting reparations. What the hell you talking about giving money out? They got their money already. It should be, you know what I'm saying, what's going to stimulate you, what's going to help you. And as far as colleges and universities, you know what I'm saying, you know, yes, I have an undergrad. I have a dual degree. You know, a master's MBA.
Stop reading the comments.
No, I'm not reading the comments. I'm talking about the college fund. You know.
Oh, okay.
Saying that, I think that was a good answer, but I thought about that. But it's like, wait a minute. You know, why would I send my children into an institution to become a better employee when my children would have, you know, what I've gotten really, which is a legacy, you know, business and land. Wouldn't I want to teach my children how to actually work, service, and maintain and manage what
that's what we're doing right now. That's what it's about.
What we heard it. So it's like, you know, this whole thing about giving money. If you give money to people, it's not going to be your own people because your own people already got reparations. You're talking about giving money to other people to make them what? Stronger to crush you?
No, I'm talking about giving it to the people who need it. Like at the end of the day, you already specified not everybody gonna qualify.
White people.
And I teach my children right now about, you know, the longevity of life and how to get money and all that. I teach my children that currently.
Yeah.
So my children will never look for handouts. Never.
Yeah.
And I do, and it's about creating a legacy, not asking for it. You create your own legacy, and that's the beautiful thing about the country. You have the power to do that.
A beautiful thing about the country that you have a power to do things in a country that you didn't earn anything to do it in. Like you came to this country, your ancestors came to this country. You know what I'm saying? So don't say anything's beautiful about this country.
It's beautiful. It's 2025.
Yeah. So you owe us too. You owe reparations. Yeah,
hey, let's go to court. Put me in court. If it works out, I'll pay you.
Yeah, no, I know. Don't be trying to lie to these folks because I've read it.
You can pull me up. What I'm lying about? This does nothing for me to lie. But I'm just trying to educate you, young brother.
No, you can't educate me.
You
don't
sure?
know who you are.
You
don't
sure?
know who you are.
You sure?
I'm damn
okay.
sure. I'm 100% sure.
Okay. So why you need reparations?
I don't need reparations.
You act like you do.
You said reparations is a handout.
It is. It's a handout.
You coming to this country is a handout.
No, I was born in this country.
No, you're an anchor baby. Now, how about
Doesn't
that?
matter. I was born in the Bronx, New York. I was born in the Bronx, New York, and it's 2025 right now.
We can see it.
And I've never been a slave.
We can hear it. We could everything he's saying.
At the end of the day, that's that mindset. That's that minute mindset of yours.
A second, Miss. Hold on, because I asked him his parents were
him.
born here.
No, he's the anchor baby. Look,
his parents were born here.
No, his parents weren't born here. His parents
look, he know everything about me. Look, that's how they think. Look.
I can guarantee you that he got. I guarantee. Hey yo, Nora,
you guarantee. Let's put some money right here in front of the audience. Let's guarantee whatever you want. Let's put up $5,000.
Haitian and Dominican. One of those two
$5,000
on the same part, but you definitely look like you're from DR.
You can guarantee. Let's put up $5,000. Let's put up $5,000. If you can guarantee, let's put up.
You're gonna do your ancestry. I guarantee you that you are not Black American.
Put up $5,000 right now. Anytime you guarantee, that means you're sure, right?
Listen.
Let's put up that bread, bro.
No, I could find out for you though.
Let's put up the bread.
What's your name? I'll do your ancestry for you. What's your name?
I'll type it to you. You can send him my name. I wouldn't put it up here like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll do it for you and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He told us his last name.
I told you my last name.
Yeah, and that's Dominican or Haitian. You know that last
name? French. It's actually French, just to be corrected.
Dominican or Haitian. Haitians.
But I don't know no French. Just to let you know.
Well, your last name damn sure not Black American.
I know that's a shame, right? Damn shame.
Okay, so wait a minute, because my last name is English. My last name is English.
Right. Of course.
It's Cumberlander. That's English and kind of somewhat by way of Germany, but it's England. It's from England. But I ain't no anchor baby.
I'm keep in mind, I'm from NY, baby. I'm with you. I'm with the smoke 100. 100
Yeah,
all
no,
day long. I never back down from the
but we
truth.
know see that's all I be trying to tell people. We've been delineated socially in New York. Like we could look at this dude.
Oh, okay. So Miz, you're from Brooklyn.
From New
Yeah.
York.
And Slim is from the Bronx.
Yeah.
The Bronx is heavy Dominican and
Look.
Puerto Rican and
Oh my God.
Already on it. Look.
Yeah,
Brooklyn, we just say Brooklyn was dirty niggas, but I'll let him go.
the dirty Bronx. We talk about Brooklyn is dirty. Like, yo, you hear this dude? It's called the dirty Bronx.
I love Brooklyn, but y'all niggas grimy and dirty and ugly.
He's trying to change. Look, he's trying to change this.
Hey, yo, it's all good. We can stay where you want. At the end of the day, what you're saying, like somebody's opinion of me will never be my reality, brother.
Yeah. But you live in
That's
a Bronx.
that's where you don't know who you dealing with.
The most neediest people's in the Bronx. The richest people come from Brooklyn. What are you talking about?
But I live in Florida.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm talking about.
so Slim said he's from the projects, but aren't you from the projects too, men?
No, I'm from no. I'm not from. I lived across the street from the Bronx, Brevoort. You know, I went to.
I don't know what that. I'm from Jersey, honey. I grew up in a house.
Well, Brevoort is where Fabulous is from. You know what I'm saying? I lived on the same street as Papoose. You know, Papoose lived 3 blocks up from
The Bronx is dangerous and crazy, and so is Brooklyn.
You know
now Brooklyn today is different. Brooklyn did a 365 times over.
Gentrification.
You can't. It's
and
beyond
immigrants people like this dude. You know what I'm saying? That's where it started. Gentrification doesn't go from black to white. It goes from black to immigrants to white, and that's what happened.
You the man.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your name, Mims? You're a funny dude, bro.
Yeah. So look, when it comes down to
when you was on the new party, Slim wasn't on that panel.
No, Slim is now on the man cave. He's traded me in for the red pill show we do.
Baby, but you know I'll pull up. It's just I can't do so many days. That's all it is. That's all it is. I can't do so many days.
I'm joking. Slim is what we would call a high value man. Like Slim has $1 million business. Like he's actually, the representation of what these red pill guys want to be. So I will say Slim is a very generous person, and I don't know his history, but I kind of believe he would give the money away in some capacity. I don't know about all of it, Slim. I ain't gonna hold you. You ain't gonna give all of it away, but I do think you'd give a good chunk of it away because Slim is just that kind of guy.
Well, you know what? But being that you said that, and this is why I'm gonna get on you, Slim, because and I don't think you're a good businessman, because reparations is not always about a check, because you could parlay that into power, public policies that's going to benefit not just your business, but the business of city. When you talk about contracts, when you talk about networking, like expansion. So you're just looking at it like very narrow, oh, it's a check and that's a handout. No, it's so many things that could benefit you as a successful businessman. When we talk about restitution and reparations, technically you as a black man, a successful business black man, you could probably get to reparations or get some type of, I would say, this restitution right now to some degree. When you talk about federal grants, even state grants, a lot of businesses, contracts and stuff like that. So don't turn your nose up to it, because what other groups do, they want those handouts from the government. People and that's what you're supposed to do, use the government to your benefit. So to your point, this is why I do completely disagree with you. It's not a handout, but we need to use the government to our benefit, and that is a benefit.
Okay, and to your point, that's basically the way I look at that is loans. Okay, it's loans to start your business. It's grants, however you look at it, right?
Well, you don't got to pay a grant back.
Yeah, you don't got to pay a grant back, but again, that's still money coming in to basically go towards the cause, right? When it's reparations and restitutions is two different things. You see what I'm saying? So you're right. It's not always about a check, but it doesn't benefit me to advocate for reparations when I can literally go out there and assist my people and showing them how to make more money for their families. I can do that without the government. I can do that within. I can do that with my people currently. The problem is my people won't listen. They won't sit down and see how it's done. They would
You
rather
ever heard of the
give me a
talented 10?
salary.
You ever heard of the talented 10?
Go ahead.
W.E.B. Du Bois coined
Oh, okay, Du Bois.
talented 10th. He said the talented 10th is what's going to save Black America. So everybody's not going to be a business person. Majority of people are going to be workers, right? However, as a business person, you have to look at power and expansion and access. So I hear what you're saying, but see, if you keep having that mentality, other groups, whether they're white or whether they're of the Jewish or Muslim religion, or whether they're immigrant Indian like Asians or rather coming here, they're going to outpace you because they do have your mentality, but they also have the mentality of how can I use the government that's going to benefit me, give me more access, give me more power, give me more resources. And so they use the government for that. So it's like, okay, I'm making money over here, but I could triple it if I use the United States government resources, to expand my business. And so you're going to get outpaced. And I'm just showing you as an example. You'll get outpaced when other groups are utilizing everything on the table and not just, I could do it myself and be successful. You get what I'm saying?
I do. And the problem is I guess that's where we differ, because I could never worry about what someone else is doing. Like, even if they're in my same industry, the competition is null and void to me. If I focus on someone else's ways of doing, I can never focus on what I need to do in my own. And that's just how I think. Like, a lot of people always worry about how much money this person's got. Same thing with our people with the whole Elon thing. It was always about how much money Elon got. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Nobody was worried about that when they was using PayPal. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it depends on what you're focused on. It depends on how your mindset is wired to move forward in any circumstance. It doesn't matter what circumstance you're in. A person can get out of a circumstance in different ways. It just depends on how you're wired.
I wanna highlight this.
Two different things.
One second, Miz. I'm gonna come to you. 1 second. I just want to read this. Black Bod something says Jews get billions a year. Does he think they should stop getting money from the government? They do. They get billions from, I know in New York State, they get billions annually for their own school system. And that's just on a state level. They do access to federal government. So do you think that they should stop, receiving money from the government?
That falls right into what my point is. If we stop focusing on what the Jews are getting, start focusing on.
I'm not focusing on them, but
no, I'm just saying, I'm just based on the comment. It just goes back to my point on what people are focused on. Well, the Jews are getting this. Well, this guy's getting that. If you focus on that, that's how your life gonna be. It ain't gonna be no other change. You gotta focus on what you gotta do.
When people post that, it's more so if you are anti-reparations,
yes.
Are you anti-reparations only for Black Americans or for anybody receiving it?
I'm anti-reparations as a whole in general. It doesn't really matter. Like, I'm against, because I live in America, maybe because I'm spoiled, but I just know that we can get it out the mud here. I just know we can start from nothing and turn something into a vision that we had years ago. I know people can do that. There's no way you could tell me that every human being in America, Black, white, Chinese, doesn't have the ability to be sustainable in the future if they put their mind to it. You can't tell me that. Why? Because I'm basically a product of this. I used to think, oh my God, I'm from the projects. I'm never going to get out of here. Never going to be able to do this. I used to think that way. I used to figure, okay, music is the only way out. I used to do my music. That's why I have passion in hip hop. But at the end of the day, it's really about how you put your mind and set your goals and what you want to accomplish as a person. You don't need anybody to give you nothing. You just got to earn it. And you have more appreciation when you earn it.
All right. So I want to go around and let everybody get their last remarks in. I just want to thank everybody for joining the show. But before I do that, let me just acknowledge a couple of people. Thank you, Walter, for the super chat. I really appreciate you. And thank you, Gina, for the super chat. Says, thank you, Dana. Thank you. And thank you, James, for the Cash App. And then earlier, Katalia says, hi, Nora, you look beautiful. with hearts. Um, so men's being that you came in and I said CPT time, but you are having a baby. So that's understandable. That's not CPT time. That's daddy time. I'm gonna go to you for your closing remarks. And I do appreciate you even taking the time out to come on, considering any minute your wife could go into labor. Real quick, thank you. Triad says it's not a focus on others, but realizing we should use every tool available to make progress and build wealth. Yeah. Men.
Yeah, I guess I'll do a quick, you know, I guess analysis and responses. Reparations is not a handout. Restitution is a part of reparations. Even saying it's two different things shows that people don't understand what reparation is. Reparations repair through justice. Restitution is part of that policy, apology, and of course, any commitment towards repair, which could be cash payments as well as anything to develop and restore what was taken and stripped away throughout, not just from slavery, but everything that happened afterwards to what was promised to slaves. Why it's important, you should know who you are. Secondly, about the statue, that black woman, or it's supposed to be a black woman. We have gotten into this era where we're just promoting unhealthy shit. Even Lizzo, that's what I think of that statue. What Lizzo used to be, promoting unfit, unhealthy choices, and the people that were like really, promoting that. A lot of them died, promoting oh, it doesn't matter about what you look like and everything. The posture, that's not Black American-esque, because we may stand like that in our household. We may wear a shirt with no bra on. You could clearly see the woman's breast through the statue to the side. No bra, showing through what she's wearing. It looks like she has Timbs or maybe Uggs and everything. Black people don't cuff their jeans like that at the bottom. The braids and stuff, we burn the tips of the braids. The women, they burn their box braids and stuff at the end. They don't leave them like that. They don't cut it like that either. This is from me speaking to other black women and my sisters. I was like asking, I was like, yo, y'all know I used to have braids and all that stuff. I never got anything like that. But I used to see women that was getting their stuff done, and I used to see the women with the lighter, lighting the tip of the braids and stuff. All of this is saying that statue is not something that we should be happy about. That statue is something that I would call a stigma enforcer. You know what I'm saying? It reinforces an image that this is what black women and the average black women look like. Look, there was a point I didn't have a six-pack. There was a point I did. And as a man, I would rather a statue emulate the qualities of masculinity and working out and everything like that. Not the downside, or just because I want to be naive and say, everything about me is beautiful. No, there's some things that I need to work on. Like if I don't have a six-pack or something, right? Just like a woman, I think a woman knows when she's not in shape. And I think that a woman would rather her vision, if they're going to have something made after her, if she's going to be, see Black Americans thick in the right places. If she had a big butt, juicy breasts, you know what I'm saying? Not face structure and everything like that, that weight could be used. Like I've seen plus size women that had perfect bodies. That statue is unfit, is out of the class, the woman, how she's the posture, everything about it is just off. It's not. It's trash, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's trash. I'm actually pretty upset about it because the opportunity that you had to create. If that was a white woman, do you think it would have been, one of them nasty tuna fish sandwich eating, trailer park, meth heads and stuff, statues? No, it would have been a daggone fit, well placed, well structured, well balanced statue, and that's all. It's just crazy.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Hopefully, I didn't get too many people too triggered, but that's just my thoughts on that.
Nora, happy Mother's Day again, and I'm glad you were able to come on.
Me too. Happy Mother's Day, Dana. Thank you so much, Dana, for allowing us to come on your platform. I want to say thank you to the new party team. Thank you to Slim. Slim is actually our oldest, most loyal member that we have on the team. So thank you to Slim. You're a good sport as always. But I'll say this: the statute to me was not the most beautiful statute or clear representation of beautiful, strong Black women worldwide. There were so many others that they could have emulated: Janet Jackson, Halle Berry. The list is endless, and I don't think that emulated what the most beautiful woman is, or even like positive features. Could have had her in a suit, could have had her carrying a briefcase, because Black women in America and worldwide hold many hats. We're mothers, we work, we help our kids, we help in our community. Just so many more positive things that they could have shown with that statute. So yeah, it's a disappointment, but I also do think it's a distraction. I think it's a distraction from getting reparations for people in America and worldwide. I think that reparations is a debt that's owed. I think that, again, I drive home my point. I don't think the United States should be the only ones to give it, but it just needs to be done. Let's move on. Let's give it. And like, give people freedom to use what they want to use it for, but stop the conversation of what are they going to use it for, why do they deserve it. The reality is everyone else has gotten it. Like, we named out the Japanese, the Jewish people, the American Indians. Black people are entitled to it, and I think it should just be paid out, and like, let's move on. But again, what are we using it for is a good point, in the sense of we need to unite as a community, like Slim said. And Slim's not an anchor baby, man. Come on. And that's my last point.
All right. And listen, thank you, 85 Slim, for coming on my platform. I really appreciate you coming on. And I really enjoyed you. I really enjoyed what you had to say. Because listen, I want people with different perspectives, opinions, and you are a very respectful, level-headed, cool dude. So nice to meet you. And what are your last thoughts?
Well, first off, thanks for having me.
Final
I
thoughts.
appreciate everything. Again, people, not everybody's going to agree with everything. Not everybody's going to disagree with you. What I will say is intelligence over emotions. If you can put your intelligence first before your emotions, a lot of things could basically come into fruition. I'm the guy that I don't let words hurt me. I don't let the chat destroy my mentality. I don't dig into all that. What I do believe is that we all have the power to help each other, and we all have the power to do something special on this planet, not just in this country. So if you don't have that belief, we got a long road in front of you. To Mims, congratulations to your child. Happy Mother's Day to the women on the panel and every woman out there. And if you like hip hop, 85 Slim on all platforms. Pull me up, listen to some sounds, man. God bless. One love.
And I said, I told Mins earlier, Nora, email me your social media, his social media handles and stuff, so I could put in the description. And I should have did that before the show. But listen, everybody who sent in a donation, I love you guys most of all. Everybody listening, everybody in the chat, and to my wonderful panel. And thank you guys for taking the time out and coming on. Because I said I want to do just panels on Friday. So I really appreciate you guys. And everybody have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, all the aunts, and all the women who are caregivers out there. And yes, we are owed reparations, and I cannot stand that statue, and I'm tired of symbolism. I want tangibles, reparations, restitutions, and public policies. Yes, for Freedmen, FBA, HOS, wherever you want to call yourself, but foundational Black Americans. Yes. So with that, everybody have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you guys on X on Sunday, back here live with the judge on Monday. Yeah. Bye.
Bless.